Jimmie Johnson, I tell you, he's on a roll right now. His team won the pit route competition the other night, and he won the All-Star race tonight. Mike Mullen for MikeMullen.net, Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Jimmie was the class of the field. They had the 10-lap restart for $1 million on the line. Matt Kenseth on the outside. He's a pretty good restarter. Jimmie on the inside, Brad Keselowski right behind him, and Dale Jr. right next to him. Could have been a heck of a finish, but Jimmie, he's just too smart. He pushed up Kenseth into some speedy dry. Kenseth couldn't get a good restart. Brad jumped inside, took second, and Jimmie was long gone. Won by almost a second. 10, 12, 15 lengths, 10 laps, and he was out of there. The race itself, I didn't think it was that exciting. There was a lot of three-wide action. There was some good action, but the fastest cars in the field had a game plan that was unusual. New rules this year, 4 20-lap races and then the 10-lap race for the money. If you won one of those 4 20-lap races, you got $50,000, which is not a bad payday, but you also got to pit first on the key pit stop just before the last 10-lap restart. Okay, Jimmie won the first 20-lapper. He went straight to the back of the field after that, saved his car, didn't do any racing. Matt Kenseth won the second 20-lapper, went straight to the back, putzed around, didn't do any racing. Brad Keselowski at least had a thrilling finish, a photo finish with Casey Kane. Brad won the third one, and that set up Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning the fourth one. 4 good guys, 4 guys that had a shot to win the $1 million, and Jimmie took him to lunch, took him to school, took the money, and went home. In fact, Rick Hendrick jumped on the car and got his foot caught in the dashboard somehow trying to climb on, and Jimmie took him around the front stretch to wave to the crowd. Rather embarrassing, sort of interesting, one of the highlights of the night. Not too much other action. Not too much other action at all. And that's the story of the All-Star race year after year after year. All the hype about Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jeff Bodine and the pass in the grass and all that stuff. That's so long ago. Remember Davey Allison and Kyle Petty and some of those great finishes 20 years ago? Have we had a good All-Star race in a long time? Not that I can remember. Each year they try to tweak it a little bit more, make it a little more exciting, and the teams just managed to outfox them. I'm not so sure this All-Star race really hasn't outlived its usefulness. Back when Team Wayne Robertson came up with the idea of a no holes barred All-Star shootout, no points or anything, I thought it was pretty crazy. And then I got to liking it. And then Dale Earnhardt, the Big E, he really made it sing. He made up the rules as he went along in NASCAR his whole life. Well, that's the way it is, you know. But the last 20 years, gosh, I don't know if there have been any good races. Tonight's race, all Jimmie Johnson. Yes, sir, all Jimmie Johnson. Winning the All-Star race, we talked to Brian France, the NASCAR president, about some of the complaints from fans and drivers about the boring action so far. He said he's revising the R&D Center, putting Steve O'Donnell, one of the NASCAR good guys, a really good guy, in charge of that thing and going to pick things up, pick up the pace. And he knows there's some problems. Doesn't want to talk about them too much, but he's got some people working on them. They try to tweak on the side skirts here. Don't know if it really made that much of a difference, but he's working on the aerodynamics. We talked to Ray Everham. He knows that NASCAR's doing a lot of things. I'm not so sure that they've got the right idea. I think they ought to slow them down, but that's a whole story for another day. Right now we're celebrating Jimmie Johnson and a runaway win in the NASCAR Sprint Cup All-Star race. Charlotte Motor Speedway, Mike Mullen for MikeMullen.net.